Hi, today I'm here with my friend Bethany, and I'm here to actually talk about a very moving story. When Bethany and I first met, she had recently discovered that she was pregnant, but she quickly found out that the baby had a condition called Trisomy 18. What struck me about Clay and Bethany and their journey is that they chose to keep her. I have asked Bethany to come and share just a little bit about her journey, what brought them to that decision, as well as what they experienced along the way, and just the things that they've learned and how they've grown through this experience. So I'm going to turn it over to Bethany now.
As Jackie said, my name is Bethany. We moved to San Antonio in August of last year. We didn't know anybody. We didn't have family out here. We didn't have friends out here. And like Jackie said, found I was recently pregnant. So I took a blood test, found out that it was a very high likelihood of trisomy 18. Okay, so we all know somebody with Down syndrome. That is a trisomy as well. It's a trisomy of the 21st chromosome. We know that people with Down syndrome live very long, happy, successful lives. Trisomy 18 is more rare, happens in maybe 1 out of every 2,000 babies, and it is the most fatal of the trisomies. Later I learned that maybe 95% of these babies will make it to term, and of that 5% that do, 50% of those will be born alive or not. So of course our doctor gave us the option. She would help us find somewhere to terminate, or we could choose to continue with the pregnancy, knowing our daughter wouldn't have a long life. We went home. Of course, we considered every option. And my husband and I just couldn't picture anything else other than being in that hospital room and meeting our daughter. And, you know, there really wasn't anything political about it. There really wasn't anything religious about it. It was just like, if we have a shot at meeting our daughter, we're gonna do whatever it takes. And we had faith, because we had such a clear vision of what that looked like. We had faith that that's what was gonna happen. You know, and we had the financial ability to take on all the extra appointments. I wasn't working, so I had the time to take on the extra appointments. But what we didn't have was local community. So I went to Bible study with Jackie. I also attended Mentor Moms here at Oak Hills and MOPS, which is another mom organization. And I showed up and I said, hi, my name is Bethany and I'm pregnant with a baby that's not gonna survive and I need help. And I tell you what, that is the best way to find people who are gonna say, okay, let's do this, you know, with both fear and compassion in their eyes saying, we're doing this. So very quickly we were able to find community, helped in whatever way they could, be it help watch our son while I went to appointments, or bring us meals, and just be with us and pray with us. So I really struggled with knowing what to pray for. And that's where that community that I met at the Bible studies and even community back home was really key in praying for us, praying on our behalf. When we didn't know what to pray for or how to pray, we had people praying for us and doing that for us. And what a gift that is. What a gift that is to be in a community of believers who just, again, step up for you.
Yeah. Tell us about your experience when you held her in your arms.
Okay, well, I'm gonna talk about the operating room.
Okay.
The scariest moment of my life. We had no idea what she was capable of. One thing that I had prayed for throughout the pregnancy was that decisions were taken from us, so I didn't have to carry the what ifs. What if we had made this decision? Would she have had a better outcome? And so one thing that was made, a decision that was made for us, was to have a C-section. And she was born alive. She was born alive, and that's a moment I will forever just have seared in my memory of just the relief and the joy of seeing her alive. Our medical team quickly took her, wrapped her up, set her on my chest and said, we don't know how much time she has. And so my husband and I very quickly knew that we have the most beautiful opportunity right now to show her as much love and as much care as we can for as long as she'll give us. We got to share an hour of life with her, and it was one of those times where that hour felt like many. We got to do so much in that hour. We got to hold her, to cuddle her, to kiss her, to tell her how much we loved her. One of my biggest dreams was to be able to hold both of my kids alive, and I got to do that. I mean, just talk about a magical moment. That first of all, like, what we had seen in the beginning was what we got to live and experience. She got to meet our families. We got to read verses over her life. And ultimately, I got to be the one who held her into her death, which is the greatest honor of my life.
Honor, yet very difficult, perhaps, as well.
Very difficult, but you know what? It wasn't actually the most difficult part. We still got to keep her. Our medical team allowed us to have as much time with her as we wanted, so we got to continue making memories with her. We gave her a bath, we got footprints, we got handprints, we got as many little moments captured on, camera that we could. And I think it's easy for people to say, oh, well, you know where her soul is, and forget the importance of the body. The body is what we got to hold. It's her face I got to memorize. The hardest time was actually when we told the nurses, okay, you can take her. And they set her down in the little plastic little crib that they have for them, and they carried her away. And we had to continue staying in the hospital without her. She actually got her name. It was one of those like providences from God. When I was a kid, I always knew, if I have a little girl, I'm gonna name her Summer. And it ended up being the perfect name for her. There was so much darkness that was surrounding her with her diagnosis and just everything that, came with it, that she didn't know any of that. She was perfect exactly the way she was. She was exactly how God wanted her to be. And to us, she was just a little sunshine in all of that darkness, And so Summer was just the perfect name for her. And so at her funeral, a song that we sang to her always was "You Are My Sunshine." Jackie led us in that at the funeral. We got to introduce her to our friends, like from out of town, and friends that we've met in town. And I think a lot of moms can relate that is one of the most beautiful things, is to get to show off your baby to your friends. So it's like we still got those moments. So I know a lot of people assumed that I was going to be mad at God. I wasn't. I understand that these things happen. I understand that this is just part of the fall of man. And I came to just be so grateful and so honored that this was a life I got to carry, I got to protect, and just understanding that my motherhood is stewarding the life of my son here on earth, and also continuing to tell the story of my daughter, stewarding her life even though she's in the heavens. It's really made me rethink heaven, rethink death. I think a lot of the times it can just be like, oh man, heaven is nice, that's great. But to know that there's somebody significant waiting for you, and to know that you will get an eternity with that person.
It's a life changer in various perspective.
It's a life changer. And so one thing I've learned too through this is just, I think we can all attest that motherhood is a give. It's giving, it's giving, it's giving. When you don't think you can give anymore, you gotta keep giving. And the way that I experienced that was I had to give my daughter back to the Lord. Knowing that that's okay.
if there's one person that's better at taking care of my child than me, it's Jesus. And having the confidence that where she is, I will be too.
Oh, Bethany, thank you so much for sharing this journey of your life with us.
Yes.
I know I have been very touched to walk alongside you and see how the Lord and His presence has been with you.
Yeah.
And I hope that you also will be very thankful for the opportunity to hear Bethany's story. God bless you all.